Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit subscribe and tap like so you don't miss these breakdowns of volatile stocks and explosive moves. Today, we're talking about GlucoTrack, ticker GCTK, because the recent momentum has been wild and people are asking why it's moving so hard. I'm going to walk through what GlucoTrack does, what's pushed it up lately, why there's strength in pre-market, the risks nobody's emphasizing, and what you should watch to see if this could hold up or fade. GlucoTrack is a medical technology company focused on continuous blood glucose monitoring, specifically implantable or long-term devices, CBGM. Their goal is to build a system that works over years, possibly without wearable components, with high accuracy, safety, patient comfort, and reliability. That sort of product has huge potential because managing diabetes is a constant struggle, and many current systems are either invasive, require frequent calibration, or are uncomfortable or expensive. If GlucoTrack manages to deliver something that improves convenience, data accuracy, and longevity, that could be a game changer. In recent months, GCTK has seen some dramatic price moves. It isn't just one bump. There have been multiple surges, particularly after announcements of clinical updates, corporate changes, stronger board or advisory team additions, warrant repurchases, and improvements to its capital structure. For example, in its Q2 2025 report, GlucoTrack not only highlighted financial results, but also noted being on track to implant first patients in a long-term, multi-center feasibility study of their fully implantable CBGM system in Australia in Q3 2025. They also plan to file an investigational device exemption IDE with the FDA in Q4 2025. These are big milestones. GlucoTrack, the company also strengthened its governance, expanding its clinical advisory team, appointing a medical director specialized in cardiology, electing new experienced board members, and creating a patient advisory board to include patient perspectives in development. All of this tends to bolster confidence among investors who are concerned about regulatory, safety, and scientific credibility. GlucoTrack today in pre-market trading, GCTK is showing strong upward movement. While I don't see a single headline that is clearly responsible for the spike, some combination of investor speculation, momentum, expectations of upcoming announcements, and possibly short interest could be behind it. Less liquidity in pre-market amplifies these moves. When fewer trades are needed to move price, any demand spike or rumor tends to cause overreactions. That means the upside can be big, but downside risk is also large if momentum breaks or if there's no follow-through when the regular session opens. Financially, GlucoTrack is still burning more cash than it takes in revenue. In its recent report, operating loss for the first half of 2025 was about $11.6 million compared to $7.4 million for the same period a year prior. Cash and cash equivalents increased to about $9.6 million as of end of June, up from $5.6 million in late 2024, helped by public equity financings. The company believes it has enough capital to fund its 2025 operating plan, as long as it meets its milestones and doesn't face unexpected costs. GlucoTrack. But that margin for error is pretty thin. If clinical trials, regulatory reviews, or manufacturing have delays, those could become critical issues. There's also the reverse stock split that already took place. GlucoTrack approved a 1-for-60 reverse stock split earlier, which affects the share price base, reduces a number of shares outstanding, and is often done to keep compliance with NASDAQ requirements. That kind of corporate action tends to bring temporary interest, but it doesn't change fundamentals by itself. GlucoTrack +1 because of all that, for anyone thinking about entering here, these are the signals I'd personally be watching. Does the pre-market strength translate into sustained volume during regular hours? Do we see official announcements about the feasibility study or approvals like the IDE submission? What happens with regulatory filings? Are there any partnerships or contract manufacturing deals or supply chain confirmations? Also, what is the behavior of short interest? Is it very high, and could there be a squeeze? And how is the market sentiment in investor forums? Sometimes the hype comes from retail interest, and when that fades, price can drop fast. In my opinion, GCTK is one of those highly speculative plays with large potential upside, but also large downside. If the company delivers on its pipeline and clinical milestones, this could reward early investors. But if delays, safety issues, or regulatory pushbacks emerge, there's risk that gains evaporate fast. I wouldn't allocate a large portion of capital here unless I were very comfortable with risk, more willing to trade than to hold long-term, and watching closely for those upcoming milestones and announcements. Wrapping up, GlucoTrack has built a narrative that's catching investor attention. Promising technology, clinical progress, governance improvements, and pre-market strength. Today's moves reflect expectations, maybe some speculation, maybe early confirmation, but not yet guarantee. If you liked this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and drop in the comments what you think. Is GCTK going to live up to the hype, or is this another volatile story? Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay informed, and always do your own research.